Hello everyone, myself is Shubhangi Mindkar. I welcome you to the second tutorial of Python. First of all, I thank you for giving a wonderful response for the first tutorial. So, in the second tutorial, that is if statement, the outline is the first is if statement, second is if else, third is if elif. So, first we'll see if statement. If condition, that is, if the condition is true, then the statement is executed. So the same thing is being shown here in the flowchart, that is, enter the input. If the input satisfies the condition, then in that case the statement gets executed. So for this is the program here. If a is equal to int input, enter the marks. That is int input. Input statement is used to take the input from the user, whereas int it will take only integer type of input. Enter the marks of maths. Similarly, enter the total marks. If B is greater than 400 and A is greater than or equal to 50. In that case only the person or particular student can seek the admission for the information technology. So, if B is greater than, that means this B is greater than 400 and A is greater than or equal to 50. These two statements are joined by what? AND. Now, and it's a logical statement, a logical operator. Uh, what does it does? It checks whether your input B is greater than 400. At the same time, your A should be also greater than or equal to 50. Then only this statement will be executed. Print statement will be executed. So let us execute this output. Execute for output. So first, enter the marks of maths. If I enter the marks as 67, so the first condition, if A greater than equal to 50, so marks of maths, that is, it is 50. So it is A is greater than or equal to 50, that is A is equal to 67. After that, it asks for the total mass. So total mass, if I enter as 750. So the total marks here, B is greater than 400. So that is B is also greater than 400. That is 750 is greater than 400. So both the conditions are satisfied. So you should get the output that you are eligible to seek admission in graduation course for information technology. So this is about the if statement. Next is, after the if statement, we have if else. So if the condition is true, then the statement 1 is executed, indented statement 1 is executed. If the condition is false, then indented statement 2 is executed. So check for the flow chart, enter the input. If the condition is true, then execute the statement 1. If the condition is false, execute the statement 2. So now we will execute the program for the same. So program for the same is A is equal to int input, enter the marks of maths. So input, enter the marks of maths. A is equal to, that is, the marks of maths are entered, same as what we did for previous. Only thing is that here what B should be greater than 400 as well as A should be greater than or equal to 50. So in that case, you can seek the admission for the information for the graduate course in information technology. But if both these conditions becomes false, in that case, you are not eligible to seek admission in graduation courses. So that is execution of this. We'll see. Enter the marks of maths. If I enter 80, then 450. So here in this case, what happens? Both the conditions are true. That is, A is greater than, 80 is greater than 50 as well as B is greater than 400. So that is 450 is greater than 400. So both the conditions are satisfied. So therefore you can seek admission to the graduate courses in information technology. Now we'll see the second option, that is else if. So here else operation. In the else operation, if I enter that is first as 45, this as 450, and see, you are not eligible to seek admission in graduate courses. Why this is? A condition is not satisfied because it is not greater than or equal to 50, but B condition is satisfied, but a AND operator, it works only when both the conditions are true. If either one of the condition is not true, then in that case AND operator gives the output as false. So because of that, your else gets executed and you get the output as you are not eligible to seek admission in the graduation courses. Next is if elif. That is, here if the condition 1 is true, then indented statement 1 is executed. If the condition 2 is true, then indented statement 2 is executed. If the condition 3 is true, then the indented statement 3 is executed, else the statement 4 is executed. So enter in the flow chart you can see, enter the input. If the input satisfies the condition 1, then execute the statement 1. If input satisfies that is, if input does not satisfy the condition 1, then the false, it goes to false and condition 2 is executed. If the input satisfies the condition 2, then the statement 2 is executed. But if the input does not satisfy the condition 2, then the statement 3 is executed. So let us see here. Enter the marks. First is input, enter the marks of maths. B, enter the total marks. C is equal to INT, enter the marks of accountancy. D is equal to enter the marks of economics. If B is greater than 4, then it will check if A is greater than 50. That is, the enter the marks of, it will check whether the marks of maths are greater than 50. If the marks of maths are greater than 50, then only that particular person or particular candidate can seek admission in information technology. But if B's, that is total marks, are greater than 400, but if the A is not greater than 50, then it goes to check the marks of accountancy. That is, C should be greater than 50. If the marks of accountancy are greater than 50, then it can seek the admission in management studies. Now, if B is greater than 400, okay, the total marks are greater than 400, but here in this case, that is the marks entered for the maths are not greater than 50, marks entered for accountancy are also not greater than 50, then it goes to the third if statement. It checks if A is greater than less than 50 and C is, that means here it checks both the conditions, that is marks of maths and marks of what this accountancy, both are less than 50, then it checks if D is greater than, that is marks of economics are greater than 40, then that particular person is eligible to seek admission in mass media. If B is not greater than 400 or less than 400, then it goes to else statement and it checks that it can seek admission for the graduate courses in arts. So let us see the execution. So first I'll execute for the first condition, that is for to seek the admission in graduate courses in information technology. For that, what should be the condition? That your marks should be marks of maths should be greater than 50. That is one condition. Your total marks should be greater than 400. That is second condition. Okay. Here, to seek the admission in information technology, you don't require the marks of accountancy. So as well as you don't require the marks of economics. So let us see both these conditions, that is marks of maths greater than 56 and marks of total marks are greater than 450. So in this case, your first statement should be executed. So you are eligible to seek admission in graduate courses for information technology. Again, let us execute. Now here in this case, the marks of maths are not important. Okay, total marks are important. Your total marks should be always greater than 400. Again, your marks of accountancy are important. So marks of accountancy should be greater than 50. So but your marks of economics are not important. So only two conditions are required, your marks of accountancy and total marks. You can seek admission in management studies. Next. Now here in this case, if I enter the marks as less than 45, this also as total marks as 450, accountancy marks also less than 50, but my economics marks should be greater than 40, so I can seek admission in mass media. Now the last, that is here I enter the marks of anything I enter, okay, but my total marks are less than 400. So since my total marks are less than 400, it directly jumps to the else. Since my total marks are less than 400, so it directly jumps to the else statement. So see the execution. Okay, so these are the various forms of if statements. So thank you for subscribe. Thank you. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon if you find the video useful.